we need to continue and we need to make this project a total success. But first, I got to show you my shirt.
Ooh.
This is me when I'm staking. So the moment I hit that stake button, oh, this is me.
Net2 Dev.
Let's go ahead and let's build the NFT Minter functionality to mint NFTs using different ERC20 cryptocurrencies. And we are going to add that functionality to our amazingly beautiful Web3 application. So on the last video, we configured the staking vault dashboard and we got the verified earnings and the amount of NFTs and the NFT IDs displayed on the application. Okay, so we did that, and you remember that function from hell. Like 3 loops nested inside the same function, but we got that. We got that done, okay? In this video, I am going to build the NFT Minter functionality because we have the capability of letting our users mint NFTs using different ERC20 cryptocurrencies or tokens, okay? We are going to let the users mint the tokens with our custom ERC20 token, the N2DR, the N2D reward token that we configure as the staking reward token. When users stake the NFTs, they will get ERC20 staking reward tokens, okay? So we are going to allow our users to use that token as a payment to buy more NFTs, okay? But for that, we need to work with an async function. Yes, I know, another async function, but it's not as difficult as the last one, okay? So don't worry. This async function needs to make the transaction way simpler for our end users, because what they're going to do, they're going to select the amount of NFTs they want to buy. They will select the token that they want to use as a payment method, and the wallet should open. What the end user should expect to happen. First thing, we need to approve the transfer of those tokens from our wallet to the NFT smart contract, which means that I need to tell the ERC20 token smart contract, hey, by the way, the NFT smart contract, that's me. I am actually performing this transaction, so go ahead and I approve to do this. So you go ahead, you give permission to the NFT smart contract to get those tokens delivered onto the contract. You have to tell that to the ERC20 token smart contract. Okay, so we're going to build that. So the step 1 will be to build that functionality. Step 2, we are going to build another call in the same function because we want this with a single click of a button. We want the user to click, get the approve message. The user will approve that call or that transaction. The next message that the user or transaction that the user should get is the transfer. So the user will go ahead and transfer the ERC20 tokens as the payment to the NFT smart contract. Once the NFT smart contract receives those tokens, then you will get one final transaction request, and that is the mint function. That is when you actually mint the NFT. And here's the thing. When we do a transaction like this, when we have 3 steps, we have to take a lot of caution, okay? The reason why I say we have to take a lot of caution is because we get a buyer that thinks he or she is smart and approves, but then rejects the transfer. We want to make sure that we don't give them the mint function because we're going to have those 3 actions on the same async function. And if we don't have some sort of mechanism to confirm that we got the tokens delivered onto the NFT smart contract, the user can actually bypass the token transfer and still mint. You don't want that to happen. So we're going to make this happen. I am going to build a function that will get you the 3 steps, but in between step 2 and 3, which is the transfer and then the mint, we will inject another call. But this call is not going to be performed by the user. It will be performed by us internally. The React server will await a confirmation, and we should get a transaction hash before we send that mint function. So let's say the user decides to be smarter than us, rejects the transaction, the transfer, then if I don't get confirmation, I'm not going to send the mint function. It's just going to stop. It's not going to continue forward, okay? So we're going to halt that function, okay? So let's go ahead. Let's jump. I am going to discuss more in detail, and you are going to see the big picture, okay? Let's go ahead. Let's make this happen. Okay, so what I'm going to be discussing, we need to work with the NFT Minter. We have completed this section, okay? So we got this up and running. Now we need to work with this, okay? So the NFT Minter will actually allow us to select the amount of NFTs that we need to mint, that we want to mint, right? And then the payment method, okay? But we're adding a lot of cool stuff to this, okay? Let me jump ahead and show you a quick presentation that I'm going to start describing each particular function. I need to get you up to speed on what we're doing, okay? So let me go and show you right now. This is our NFT Minter, okay? So you are very familiar with this. If you have been following my videos, we have configured an NFT Minter. And the way that this has been set up, right? It's that it gives me the capability, right, of allowing the users to select the amount of NFTs they want to mint, right? So if they want to mint 1, 2, 3, 4, then you just click and you select the token that you want to use as a payment, okay? So with that, there's a couple of things that we need to work with. We need to work with a particular constant that will actually store whichever value the user hits here on this button. Let's say the user wants to mint 2 NFTs, okay? So it's going to click button number 2. I need to have a value of 2 associated to this button, okay? So what's gonna happen is on the button, I should have something like this. I should have a value of 2. Let me change the color, red, a little bit bigger. Okay, perfect. The button needs to be configured with a value of 2. What I'm going to do with that value of 2, that number is the number that I'm going to send, right, to the smart contract as token amount, okay, or NFT amount. So I have to tell the smart contract, hey, please mint X amount of tokens. And we got a variable that allows us to input X amount of NFTs to be minted on one transaction, okay? So with that said, after I am done with the NFT amount, I got that value, right? The next thing that I got to make sure that I tell is the method of payment, okay? So in this case, I got to configure a function that will specify which ERC20 token smart contract am I going to use. And in this case, you can build, quote, a variable called currency that will point to that particular ERC20 token smart contract, okay? Awesome. Finally, in this particular button, we are not only selecting the currency, we are actually executing the mint function, okay? So let me go ahead and delete this real quick, and I'm gonna show you how the mint function should happen. And we are talking about this particular button. Any of those buttons, this is what's gonna happen. First thing that is going to happen is that we will first get the amount, right? We will retrieve the amount of NFTs needed. We will also get, and the get amount of NFT is this value right here. So we're passing that number 2 onto the function, okay? So get amount, that will be for the NFTs. So how many NFTs do you want? Now get the cost. This is a smart contract call, which means that I need to send a call to request how much is each NFT, okay? Once I get those 2 items, once I know the amount of NFTs that I want and how much are they, guess what? We gotta do simple math. We got to do amount times cost. right? It will equal the token required, or the amount of tokens that you need to use as payment, okay? This will be the total amount, okay? So the total amount will basically be combining amount times cost will be the payment that we need to send, okay? So we get those values, right? So once we are done with those values, we will then send a request to ERC20 smart contract. Hey, approve spending, meaning that I am telling on behalf of the NFT smart contract to the ERC20 token smart contract. So in this case, I need to interact with this token smart contract and tell it, hey, the NFT, this particular smart contract, it's allowed to send the tokens, or it's allowed to retrieve the tokens from my wallet so we can pay. Once we're done with that, we will proceed to transfer the ERC20 payment. In this case, I am going to transfer the ERC20 tokens that I need to send in order for me to get the mint. Okay. Once that's done, I finally will get the mint. I will get a prompt to mint the tokens. And between here, I need to confirm the transfer. Why? Because if I don't confirm that transfer, the user, the buyer, can go smart on us and cancel the transfer and still get the mint. So we need to make sure that we confirm that transfer of tokens before we allow them to mint. So let's take a look at this, okay? So first thing, as I was explaining to you, the user hits that buy with custom ERC20 token, right? So we buy the NFTs using, let's say, N2B rewards, right? Once that's done, I will retrieve the cost, I will retrieve the amount of NFTs, we will get the calculation, and then we will have the price, or at least the total amount of tokens that I need to send as payment. I will be sending an approved spending, meaning that I am going to interact. This is not the NFT smart contract. This is me as the owner of those tokens. I need to tell the ERC20 token smart contract, hey, I am allowing the NFT smart contract to get those tokens transferred. The ERC20, well, you gave me approval. Perfect. Now, after that's approved, then we will proceed to send the ERC20 tokens to the NFT smart contract, right? And by the way, I should do this because you will understand better. ERC20, right? Contract. Let me just do it here. This is an interaction with an ERC20 smart contract. However, this is an interaction with the ERC721 or the NFT smart contract, right? And finally, we got one last interaction. I believe the logo is on the way. Let me just put it here. One last interaction, which is also with the ERC721 smart contract, okay? Got it. So far, so good, okay? So I have to tell the ERC20 token, hey, allow that transfer to happen. Then we proceed and execute this transfer. This is a call that will be shown on your wallet, and then you just approve that transaction. In between, I have to grab that. I have to make sure that I grab that, because if I don't grab that, the user can reject this. So let's say we got a smart user who decides to reject this. Well, guess what? The next function, or the next call in the async function, is the mint. So they will be able to mint, and they were able to cancel the transfer. You don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, so with that, I have to intercept that somehow. How do I intercept? I am going to add a condition. Basically, I am going to await the confirmation. Then go ahead and mint, right? So after that confirmation, send the mint request to the wallet, okay? And you are going to see it. You're going to see it right here. I am also incorporating the EIP 1559 that we built on one of our previous videos onto the action. I'm not going to discuss that because I have a video just describing the EIP 1559 and how can we integrate Alchemy to do that call. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and let's make this happen. I am going to my application. Cool deal. So this is the app. Let me open the site to make sure that we got it right here. Awesome. We have it here. And yeah, that should be fine because we're not actually making changes on the graphical interface. So we just need to test. OK, so I'm going to start by discussing the functions. OK, so the first thing that we have to incorporate is obviously the mint function. Of course, we have to build that, right? So let me go ahead. Let me do that. So what I'm gonna do is that below connect wallet, let me see if I can expand this a little bit. Perfect. So below connect wallet, I am going to add that second function. So I got here the end of the connect wallet function. And now I'm going to add another one. And the first function is going to be called async function, and then we will call this mint0. I'm going to tell you in a bit why I'm calling this mint0. It's a name. You can call it anything you want. So I can also say mint with n to the r. Right? So I can label it that. But I'm going to mint 0 because 0 is the PID for the n to the r tokens. Okay? In the NFT smart contract, we configure that on previous videos, how to mint NFTs using custom ERC20 tokens. And we use pool IDs because we built pools with ERC20 token smart contracts so then we can add multiple cryptocurrencies, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I am going to type here mint0. And again, you know what? Let me just take the opportunity to show you the smart contract real quick so you're familiar. I know if you haven't seen the video, I am going to leave it on the description so you can see that video because I go in details how you can make that happen. But I am just going to show you here. And we're going to go to repos. We are going to ERC 721, I believe. Okay, yep, this is the one. So let me show you here. So this particular ERC, and you can go under my GitHub, net to dev. You go under ERC 721 contracts, and from here you can actually see that we're building a struct called token info in which we actually specify, let me expand, perfect. We specify the token that we want to use, and this is literally the smart contract. So every ERC20 token that we want to accept as payment to mint NFTs, we add that into the smart contract, okay? And then this is where we call that function to add that particular token to be used as the payment method, okay? Once we're done with that, we will get a pool ID, okay? So every time that we add a different crypto to be used as a payment to mint NFTs, we are adding a pool ID. We start with 0. The first token that we add onto the smart contract will be token number 0. If we use the n to the reward token, that's number 0. That's the reason why I selected 0, mint0, because we want to attach the mint0 function to button number 1, which is the n to the r token. Okay, let me go back. Let me show you. Share real quick. Okay, so let me go back real quick. So in that particular smart contract that you just saw, so I got a pool ID. Every time that I add a token to be used as a payment, I will get a new pool ID. So let me go ahead and delete this. The first pool ID will be pool ID 0. So it will be 0, okay? So we injected that first smart contract, that will be allocated to pool ID 0. We add another smart contract, pool ID 1. And when I say a smart contract, it's the token, the address of the token, okay? And then finally 2. So we start with 0, 1, and 2. 2, however, if we deploy this in the Polygon blockchain, Matic is native. So I don't need to use a particular PID because I can call it natively. And I'm going to build a function so you can see it. We can still use the native token. But if we are going to use a token that is not the native blockchain token, then we have to do it this way, okay? Okay, so let's go back. Got it? Okay, so let me go back onto app here. And let's go ahead and start. Okay, the first thing that I want to do right here, I am going to paste the default stuff, okay? So I gotta go ahead here, I'm going to open here and start having fun. Okay, so let me explain to you what this means. The PID, you remember? PID 0, that will be the first ERC20 custom token address of the smart contract that we added into the NFT collection smart contract. We are specifying this will be the mint for PID 0, which is tied to the N2D rewards token smart contract. Next, I am grabbing ERC20, okay? I am grabbing the ERC20 address. So I am creating a var, which what it's going to do is going to talk to my NFT collection smart contract, right? So I have a function in the NFT smart contract that will allow me to call get crypto token and retrieve the address of the smart contract tied to that particular token, okay? And I'm going to leave the contract there so you can see how that's done, okay? So once we're done with that, right, from the ERC20 token smart contract, I am going to be interacting, this is a normal Web3 call, with the token API, which I already have the token API exported from the contract. So you need to have a token API exported from the smart contract so that you can interact with that token, okay? If you don't know how to do it, there's two ways. One way is going to Etherscan, finding the token of the smart contract or the smart contract address, then you should be able, if the contract has been verified, you should be able to retrieve the API from there and use the same procedure, okay? If you don't, you can still build the API as long as you know which calls are available on the smart contract. You can build a custom any other ERC20 token, make sure that the functions are invoked or are inherited, and then you should be able to do so. If anyone has any issues or at least wants to know more, I can do a separate video just to show you how to do that, okay? But for that, okay, let's continue. Got it. So, okay, so let me go continue. So I'm gonna have this function. Once I get that function, I'm going to have the opportunity to get the rate of, in this case, will be the cost of the NFT if you pay in that particular crypto, okay? Because every crypto will be a different price. So when I add a token address to the function or to the NFT smart contract, I can specify in the same PID, hey, if you use N2D rewards, it's gonna cost you 30 N2DR tokens per mint, okay? And this is where we get that value because we store that when we initially added the crypto onto the pool, okay? Again, I'm gonna leave the video showing you this in detail. Next, mint amount. Out value. Whoa. This is new, okay. Awesome. Let me explain to you what alt value is, okay? When we built the button that you saw, that I show you, this particular button group, it's this right here. I'm gonna show you right now. This is the button group, okay? What it's going to do, we are adding a value of 1 to button 1, meaning that if someone clicks, what it's going to do is going to store this value in the variable. Because this is a dynamic object, meaning that it could change out data. Okay, I'm going to go back. Okay, out value, sorry. Out value, it's set as this state, which means that I am waiting for someone to provide a value to that. Let me show you how I am doing that. I am going to build a set state handle. So if anyone, you see what I'm going, if anyone gets the button, if anyone hits that button, it's going to grab the state of the button. In this case, what is the state of the button? It's basically the value section of the button, okay? And it's going to tie that to the call, which is NFT amount. So every time that someone hits that function, it's going to tie NFT amount to the target of value. Good? Okay. Once we get that resolved, it's going to be stored in this particular variable, which is out value. Let me show you how can we invoke NFT amount, because we still have to tie this particular handle onto the button group. Let me do it right now. We're gonna go ahead and go to the button. So the button group, this particular button group allows me to place, because this is all inherited from the same group, allows me to place the onClick to be tied to the handle. Okay, what I'm going to do, I am going to add onClick NFT amount. You remember in the handle we got NFT amount. What is going to do this handle NFT? What is the name of our handle? NFT. Okay, follow me so far. For NFT amount inside handle NFT, let's go back down. We are tying NFT amount to whatever value you get when you press the button. Got it? You press button 1, what's gonna happen? Button 1 ties to value. Let me draw it. Let me draw it because I know you're gonna understand it. So let me do it in a way that everyone will understand. I am going to use my presentation. Okay, so I have a empty space that I can draw here. Awesome, cool. Let me change the color, right? So the first thing I am going to do, this is the button. Let's say this is button number 2, okay? So let's say we hit that button 2. Okay, someone clicked that button 2. What happened? Button 2, if we look back at the config, let's go back here. Button value 2 gets tied to value. Okay, so what's gonna happen? I am going to copy this thing and hopefully I can paste there. I am going to tie button 2. Oh yeah, you're gonna love this. So we are tying button 2. That button number 2 will be tied to value, because inside this button object we got a value of 2, right? So we got a value of 2. So what happens is that value of 2 gets attached to the call, the onClick. So it's expecting you to click. What is going to happen to the value? Value will then be stored in NFT amount. Following me so far, okay? Value will be stored to NFT amount, which then the onClick expects to send that state to the handle. Okay, let's go back. Copy this, let me add it back. So we're going to send this request to the handle. Okay, now I landed at the handle. Now I am landed up. And you see this is async because I can be interacting down in the lower part of the code, but I am going to be interacting upstream, or at least northbound, right? So once I click value of 2 gets sent and stored in value, right? We then use that to call NFT amount and store a value of 2. Then this handle NFT will set the state, or basically will send that call to the handle itself, right? And then, okay, well, you're sending me a state call to NFT amount. Well, what's the value? Oh, let's see. The value you gave me is 2. Awesome. Yeah, why? Because NFT amount is value of 2. You see where I'm going? So I got connect handle NFT. I am awaiting NFT amount. What is the value? 2. So this is literally summarized into the number 2, because that's what I did. Finally, I am going to set state to out value equals 2, meaning that I am now going to be storing 2 as the value for out value. Okay, that's how I tell out value, hey, you're number 2. If someone decides to, instead of 2 changes his mind and clicks number 3, it's going to do the same process again. It's just going to update the state. It's just going to go back to value, boom, boom, sends to handle NFT. NFT goes to 2. And finally, value amount, it will be 3, and then it will be stored to a value. Okay, what happens next? We got the amount that we need to perform the async function. We go back to the async function. Now we got that out value. So render, basically what it does, it actually gets me the value of set state for out value. So I will get the constant out value. I will be processing that, and this is how I can then use this to make the calls in the function. What I'm going to do, I am going to place out value as the minimum amount or the mint amount. That's it. Inside here, if someone clicked 2, all that procedure gave you number 2. That's how I tell here mint amount 2. What am I going to do after that? Total amount. What's the total amount? It's the cost times the amount of tokens. Got it? Awesome. Next, what we need to do. We are going to, okay, once we're done with that, we are going to grab the gas fee. I'm going to skip the gas fee section because that's a completely different video. I'm going to leave the description or the link for that video on the description. And basically what this does is basically calls the API for Alchemy's API and retrieves the minimum base fee for gas, base fee, max priority, etc. Okay. Now the first thing that I got to do, okay. Now I got, the improved gas fee. So we injected that onto the transaction. Now we need to send that first request. Check this out. The first request that I'm going to send, what it will be to approve. Okay, so I am going to approve the NFT smart contract to transfer those NFTs. Okay, got it so far? Awesome. So I am going to send, hey, I'm giving you approval to move those tokens. Then once we're done with that, right, and I am missing the particular option. There we go. Once we are done with that, okay, so after max priority, I'm going to close and I'm going to add more stuff. So I am going to say then, right? So I am going to send the tokens that they're requesting me to use as a payment to mint the NFTs, okay? So as a matter of fact, I'm going to put it here. But then I'm going to lower this. Cool, awesome. So now, I sent the approval, I got approved. Then, oh, by the way, this should be, I see what might be the issue. Okay. Then currency methods, basically the ERC20 token, I am telling, hey, go ahead and transfer. I am going to transfer where? To the NFT smart contract because I need to pay those to the smart contract so I can get the mint function. This is where the fun part goes. Okay, now bear with me, but this is not as complicated as the last one, okay? What I need to do, check this out. I am going to wait. Okay, so after I transfer those tokens, I will wait. Okay, I did another async function that I am expecting the transaction hash. I am expecting to get the transaction confirmed and the thumbs up. Okay, we got the tokens. Let's go ahead and mint the NFTs. What I'm going to do, I am going to, while I am awaiting transaction receipt, if it's not new, if it's not null, so this basically negates the receipt. Okay, so if this is null, then I am expecting the receipt, meaning that it's still null. Okay, meaning I need to wait. I haven't gotten confirmation, but then while that's happening, let me await by calling the blockchain and saying, hey, give me the transaction receipt. And this is a global get function that you have available to retrieve the transaction confirmation, because we don't know how long it's going to take us to get that transaction process. We do a sleep. We are waiting until what? Until we get the block time. How do we know what is the block time? How long is the block time? But we have to still specify how much do we want to await before you get that transaction receipt. We need to build that constant. So we're going to place another constant right here called expected block time of 10,000 milliseconds. So we're going to get a sleep of 10,000 milliseconds to await that confirmation, okay? I don't need to wait for the full transfer. I need to wait for the actual confirmation that the block has been received or the transaction has been received on the blockchain. It's being processed, okay? So it means that I got the transaction in place and we validated that the transaction is legit and we got a transaction number, okay? And that's the transaction hash, okay? So once we are done with that, right? Now we got the expected block time, cool. We now will get the output of that confirmation and we can actually display that in the application or the web front end. We can say transaction complete or transfer has been completed, and we place this below the mint function or the buy button. So let me show you right now. So under transfer status, this should change to transfer completed once we get confirmation that the tokens were successfully transferred, okay? Let's go back. Now what I need to do, right? I need to get that transaction received. Once I get the transaction received, that means that I got the tokens, I got the payment, okay? And now I can finally say, hey, you know what? Was honest, and he actually went all the way through. So what I'm gonna do now, I am finally letting this happen. Once I got that transfer complete, right? I will get the mint, and this is where we do that call to mint the token or mint the NFTs. We're going to send the account of, in this case, the wallet, which is going to receive the NFT, and we're going to send the total amount, and we're going to specify which token are we using as a payment. In this case will be the ERC20 function 0 or mint 0. We're sending PID 0. So we're telling, hey, we're paying with this. And finally, we will send this from my account, and I'm going to use the EIP 1559 to save on gas fees, okay? One thing that we have to do before we go ahead and test is that this function has been developed to interact with a custom ERC 721 NFT smart contract. I developed a couple of functions to get certain information that we will need in order for us to do the mint, okay? So let me go and show you real quick, and this will be the last step. This is the smart contract, and if we go under my GitHub, let's go to the GitHub, let's go to the mint front end, and we will go to Part6 right here. You can see it right here. And you will see the smart contract, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to grab the smart contract, select all, let's go to remake, paste. There we go. Awesome. So what I want to show you is that I got a couple of functions that are being queried by React on the smart contract. So you have to make sure that you use this particular smart contract, or else it's not going to work. The functions will not work. One of them will be to get the NFT cost. The other one will be to get the crypto token. So in order for me to get the NFT cost, remember, if we are selling the NFT using N2VR, we want to set the price for 30 N2VRs per NFT minted. If we use any other crypto, we want to set the cost for that particular crypto. So the moment the user selects the ERC20 token they want to use as a payment, we need to make sure that we can provide the right cost. So then the mint function happens with the right amount, okay? Or the amount that the user is willing to pay to mint in that particular cryptocurrency, okay? So with that said, I have that. So we got get crypto token. It's basically giving me the ERC20 smart contract in React. So then I can select which cryptocurrency I'm going to use to make the payment. So let's go back onto, let me show you the mint. One more thing, I'm going to show you the custom mint. There you go. So mint PID, this is how I will allow the user to mint the NFT if they use a particular ERC20 smart contract, or at least they decided to use a custom ERC20 token to buy. So the token, you put that token, you specify which tokens are you going to let the user use as a payment, okay? So you have to build a PID, and we went through that, 0 will be the first token, then 1, then 2, and so forth, okay? So this is in the function. So if we go back to React, let's go back to React. I'm going to show you real quick. So you can see here mint PID, right? So mint PID, it's being queried onto the NFT collection smart contract. So make sure that you have the smart contract deployed using that particular smart contract that I attached. So the smart contract that we're using for this particular application is the one that I'm providing in Part6. Very important. This is very important. So let me show you another, this is where we actually get the crypto token. So this is where we are invoking the function that I just showed you. So let's go back to Remix. If we go back down, I developed those two functions. So this will give me the address of the smart contract that I'm allowing users to purchase NFTs with, or in this case, the ERC20 token smart contract that I'm going to allow as a payment, okay? And then the NFT cost, this will give the React server the cost in the particular cryptocurrency that the user has selected to pay for the NFTs. So make sure that you're deploying this particular smart contract because it's only going to work with this. If you are willing to modify this, you can go ahead and grab the smart contract and modify it with any different functionality that you want, but you have the capability right here. I just developed this and you can go ahead and use it, okay? So with that said, you have to make sure that you deploy. So I already got mine deployed because that's the one that I'm using. So if I go onto config, once you deploy the collection smart contract, the one that I just showed you, you have to modify the config.js, and this is where we are going to add that NFT smart contract address that you just deployed. One last thing that we have to do, and we got the full-blown async function to mint using the custom ERC20 token. Okay, one last thing that we have to do is we have to allocate, or we have to place this function into the button so then people can click, okay? So we got to do that right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go down and let's look at the button for N2DR. So this is the button that is holding the N2DR logo, which we know that that's for Mint 0. So what I'm going to do, I am going to place it right here. So this is the button. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type on click. Okay. And then inside here, what I'm going to type, Mint 0. That is the call to get that mint function attached or into the rewards, right? So now we got the Mint 0. It's now attached to this particular button, which is the N2DR token, okay? And now we got this also ready to go. So then we should be able to mint using the custom token. Let's go ahead and test it out. So I want to make sure that I am saving everything here. So we got the on click, we just connected that. We got the Mint 0 attached to the button. Let's go ahead and make the call. So I'm going to go Control S, go back. I'm going to refresh, make sure that looks good. Everything looks good. I'm going to connect my wallet, and there seems to be an issue with connect my wallet. I cannot connect my wallet, which we all know what we need to do when there's issues. F12. Let's see what the console can tell us. Those are like HTML issues. Oh, there we go. Oh, Web3 Alchemy, and that is the Alchemy connection handler to make the gas fee talk. So I am missing this in app.js. Let's fix that. So let me go up and let's see. Okay, now I got here. Let me import the Alchemy option. And I hope I do have it. Let's see. I am going to grab the constant, and this is basically the call to Alchemy, and I got the video to do. I'll add this to the video of how to do the gas fee. I'm gonna place the link in the description, okay? And let's make sure that this is configure or install. It doesn't look like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and install this real quick. Nothing better like troubleshooting live. Let me go ahead and paste. And I am going to do npm I Alchemy. We're going to install this real quick and we'll test it again. Boom, we got it installed. Let me rerun again. And once we're done, let's wait for that. Boom. Cool. And Web3 Alchemy is not defined. Let's see in the... Oh, yeah, because I have to save it. Duh. Let's see now. Cool. Alrighty, awesome. So that looks good. Let me go back and give it a shot again. Let me, yeah, this is no more errors. Now it looks good. Use effect, use state. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and fix that. This is literally not needed here. I was playing with something. Control S, let's go back. Let me, well, bump. Yeah, this is all HTML formatting. I'll take care of that later. Cool, awesome. Okay, and we are going to test now. So connect wallet, beautiful. Looks amazing. Awesome. Now let's give it a shot. Let me go ahead and select the amount of NFTs. We're gonna hit 3 and let's go ahead. Crossing fingers. Oh, that looks beautiful. Awesome. So we know what's the first permission or the first call will be to access your end to the R's. This is the approval. And you see, we got 2 transactions. We haven't gotten the third one. So we have to confirm those 2 first, okay? We are going to pay 90 end to the R tokens because it's 3. So 3 times 30, 90. Confirm. Now, let me see if I can catch the transfer submitted. Oh, there you go. We got that transfer hash or the receipt. So we actually got the confirmation from the end user. Now, once we get the MetaMask confirmation that the tokens were transferred, we should be good to go. So let's wait for that. Boom, and we got that confirmation going on. And finally, boom, 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 we got that NFT request. So we got the request to mint the NFTs. Awesome, awesome. So let me go ahead and do that. And let me confirm. And let's wait for that final confirmation. So we got the approval to send we got the approve, we got the send, and we are now waiting for the mint. Once we're done, we are good to go. Boom! We got the NFTs. Now let's go ahead and update or refresh our browser to see if this incremented. So we bought 3, we should get a 51 total mints. And we got that confirmation on the display. Beautiful. Okay. One last thing that we have to do, it's going to be way simpler. We are going to enable the native token. So let's go ahead, because I am using Polygon. We are going to enable the native token and we will attach to this particular button. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. It's not gonna take us long. So what we need to do, we are going to mint at another function. Let's say async function mint native. We are going to say that this is to mint the native token. Okay. So what we need to do, I am going to go ahead and apply the call, and that should be it. So let me go ahead and add the information. And sure enough, so mint native, we remove the custom ERC20 token, approve the transfer and all that because we're using the native token. All I have to do is call the mint to the contract and off we go, okay? And we added the particular call to do the gas saving. So we are doing the API call to Alchemy to import the gas fee onto the call, okay? So mint native, now we need to find the button for Polygon. So we are looking for this third button right here, and we will attach mint native to this. And let me find the button. And we got the logo right here, the Matic logo. So this is the button. So what I'm gonna do it very similar to what I did with the End to the Art logo, but in this case, I am going to call mint native, okay? Go ahead here, mint, and then we will replace this with native, okay? Now that I used this call, I should get this light up. Okay, awesome, looks great. Let's go ahead and do that. Control S. Let's go back, and we are going to try mint with the native token. So I'm going to connect my wallet. Everything looking good. Awesome. I'm going to select 2, and then I'm going to hit this button and see what happens. Beautiful. And it's saying that we are not able to estimate the gas. That enough Matics. Yeah, that's not the right price. 30 Matic. Let me take a look here. The reason why it's not showing the right amount is because I believe in the smart contract, I haven't added Polygon. But basically you saw it. You got the call. The only problem is that I don't see the right value because I believe in the smart contract I did not add the native token. But again, you see that it works. Like I don't need to specify any PIDs. I don't need to specify anything else. It's just going to use the native token, okay? So with that said, even though that it's because I don't have an automatic, and sure enough, because I set the price to be 30. Lucky me. So I did 30 for the native token. So that should not be the case, right? All right, well, but we know it works, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I got 0.42. I should have set the price to like, I don't know, 0.001 or something. Alrighty, that's it. That's all we have to do. If you want to add the second crypto, you have to invoke contract address, and this will be PID1. As we saw it, you build the button for the second option, and off you go, okay? There you go. We're almost done. We're almost done. And the reason why I say we're almost done, we have one more video to go. This last video that I want to do is I want to show you the power of React. And when we use certain functional components in React, such as use state and use effect, we can dynamically stop the rendering of a particular function. And you might say, well, why we want to do that? The reason why we want to do that is because we want to only show in our application the NFTs that the user owns. Instead of showing every single NFT in that list, or the entire collection, we're only going to show the NFTs that the wallet holder owns, which means that it's going to look clean and they will be able to only stake and unstake their own tokens because those are the only NFT tokens that will be shown in the dApp. Amazing, right? And this will make the application look way more professional. You need to make this happen because imagine a NFT collection that has 10,000 NFTs and you're gonna be scrolling 10,000 NFTs? I don't think so, right? And we want to make this as simple as possible for the end user. So what we're going to do, we are going to incorporate functional components and we will make that happen, okay? And you're gonna learn a lot about this, okay? Because we need this. The NFT marketplace is heavily reliant on functional components. And we need to get ourselves exposed to this so then we can move forward. And I promise that is the last video and we will be done with this amazing app, okay? Alrighty, that's it for this video. I hope you like my videos. If you do, I need to stop saying that because I know you will like the video and you will subscribe, okay? Alrighty, thank you so much and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.